Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at getting some direction on this thing. So we got 3.83, making sure that we were in degrees, not radians. And now we need to find the angle. Now, the angle again, if this is the y-axis and the x-axis, it's got to go from the positive x all the way around. Now, the reason I show it to you on this picture, the reason I pulled this picture off to the side, is there's less stuff going on in it, so hopefully make it easier for you to see. But I want to make sure we look at it from here because this is where our info is. We want to come from the positive x-axis all the way around to the blue line. Now, the nice thing is, you know you got 90, you know you got 180, you know you got 270. The question is, what's this bit? Well, I think the easier thing to get is if I know that this is 10 degrees here, if I could find this degree here, I could subtract it from 360 and be good to go. So once I know three sides and one angle, I could use law of sines. I could say sine of angle I don't know, theta, over, what's opposite that, 3 centimeters, equals sine of 50 that I do know across from 3.83. And by doing a little cross multiplying, I come up with 3 times sine 50 equals divided by 3.83. Answer is 0.6. Now, folks, if you get the answer 0.6000, you are not done. That makes no sense as an angle. But remember, it's sine of theta equals 0.6. So what we need to do is take the inverse sine of our answer, and there we go, 36.87. Theta equals 36.87. So if this is 36.87, we know that if the whole thing is 360, I can take 360 minus the 2 that I don't need, and I'm going to say 360 minus 46.87 gives me 313 degrees. 313 degrees. So that means this distance all the way around, 313 degrees, 313 degrees, which means my vector is 3.83 comma 313 degrees. That is finding both the magnitude and the direction. It required both law of sines and law of cosines. Now, let's take a look at the last piece of the puzzle. It says we want to do C plus 2D. C plus 2D. So now, here's how you also need to think about arranging this. C plus 2D means I'm going to go down a little bit, then I'm going to go up, and then up some more. So when I start my picture, I want to start it way down here on the bottom part of the paper so that I have enough space and I'm not ramming and cramming. Now, folks, if you jam this stuff onto your paper, you are going to make mistakes. I'm telling you now, just use the paper and use the space. Now, that's 3 centimeters at 40. But now I need 2 of them, so here we go again. 3 centimeters at 40. There we go. Now I need a resultant, and the resultant is here. If I'm drawing my pictures nice and large, I can clearly see again, I have 10 degrees here, and I have 10 degrees over here. Well, if I have 10 on the bottom, what does that leave up here? From the vertical down to here would be 80. If this is 40, that leaves 50 on the inside, leaving me 130 degrees. So now if I draw it out here, I end up with 130 degrees. This is a total of 6. This is a 5. Can I find the missing piece? The answer, of course, is yes, of course. And we're going to say x squared equals 5 squared plus 6 squared minus 2 times 5 times 6 cosine 130 degrees. And so I plug all of that in. 25 plus 36 minus 10, which is 60, cosine 130. Answer is 99.56. I say second square root. Don't forget to square root it. So many people come down and they say, oh, the answer is 99.57, but that equals x squared. So x equals 9.98. 9.98. 9.98. Now, I still have to find the angle. Now, remember, the angle we're looking for is from the positive x-axis. So I need just that portion right there. I need just from the x-axis up to the line. And so if I knew this angle right up in here, and I say theta degrees, well, I can say sine of theta over 6 equals sine of 130 over 9.98, and I solve that little guy. 6 times sine 130, answer is divide by 9.98. Again, don't forget that that sine of theta equals 0.4605. And when I do that, second sine, second answer, I get 27 degrees. 27.4 it looks like. Now, folks, if the whole thing is 27.4 and this much of it's 10, how much is the part that I actually care about? How much is this part? 27.4 minus 10 is 17.4 degrees. Your answer here is going to be 9.98, 17.4 degrees. And there you go. That's how you do both of those problems. So get the ones that you have to do done. Don't do these problems. Do the ones that were assigned.